DMX. Where to begin? First and foremost, rest in peace to a legend. Earl Simmons, aka DMX, or Darkman S, was a game changer. The hip hop rapper that brought us Party Up in here. Where the hood at? X gon' give it to you. Movies like Belly, Romeo Must Die, Exit Wounds, and Last Hour. The guy will forever be listed as a legend. Not only in hip hop, but also just culture itself. The guy was a dog. I mean, it don't get more doggy than this. A monster, and though he had his own struggles, he was my childhood. I mean, without DMX, we would not have this scene from Like Mike. I mean, we all gotta say like, yo, this scene was legendary. But let's continue his legacy. So over his course of his career, he sold over 74 million copies of music. A kid from New York who honestly grew up with nothing. Son of a 19-year-old Arnett Simmons and 18-year-old Joe Market, barely being in his life. Honestly made a lot out of himself. Starting at the early age of 14 in 1984. He beatboxed for Reddy Ron, and from there he only grew. Serving time in prison for carjacking and stealing a dog became the staple of his career. And selling his own mixtapes out of the trunk of his car made him build a local fan base in New York City. That led to him signing to Columbia Records in 1992 and eventually Def Jam in 1996, my birth year. And from there, he took over the rap game in the 90s. His albums during this time debuted at #1 on the top Billboard 200 charts on multiple occasions, went multi-platinum and received multiple Grammy nominations. I personally didn't listen to all of his music nor any of his full-on albums, but being born in 1996, you cannot miss his impact that he had in the music industry or his music in general. I'm pretty sure you can watch the movie and you can definitely hear something from DMX. I'm sure. Definitely one of those 90s movies or early 2000s. But we're not going to get into the health issues, legal troubles, or his death, but instead we're going to focus on his new album, Exodus. This is his 8th studio album, and his last studio album was Undisputed back in 2012. I don't think a lot of people knew that he was gonna release an album. I personally did not, but I'm actually excited because I get to actually experience a full-length project by DMX and actually experience really his artistry in full. I mean, the track list is just lethal. It has people like Swizz, Beatz, Jay-Z, Lil Wayne, Alicia Keys, Snoop Dogg. I mean, the list just continues. Oh, honestly, if you get Snoop on your album, like, it's gonna be fire. Just saying. Obviously, the album was recorded prior to his death, and I was looking at interviews, and apparently it was supposed to have Pop Smoke on it. But because of label issues, you know, they stopped that. Ain't it crazy how labels have so much control over not just dead people, but also just artist music in general? It's a shame. They should be ashamed. Again, this is my first DMX album. I have no idea what to expect, but I'm excited for it. Hit that subscribe button if you like music. Like this video to help out with the YouTube algorithm, and comment your favorite DMX song and album. Let's debate in the comment section. First up, I love Swizz Beatz. Swizz Beatz is one of the top producers, me personally. He brings a lot of energy just with his production and his chants. It just sticks out. You ain't gotta worry about the score, we gon' blow him out. You ain't even have to worry about the score, we gon' blow him out. It's hot over there, my nigga playing the shit. I know y'all hear the what's in the background. The verse is actually on point, and the freaking what's in the background just give it so much energy as well. Got a little old to see shit for what it was. That's My Dog was a solid intro. It was definitely pretty long. It was 5 minutes. I mean, it was a very long introduction. Me personally, I thought the hook was great. I thought it was catchy. It was a vibe with the beat. But I do think that the Lots was, he had the better verses, hands down. I think that the Lots had the better verses. Fight me. It's my opinion. Now, Jay-Z and Nas been coming together on a lot of songs recently, like just as features itself. So I'm actually kind of curious to see how this song is. I think it's gonna be fire just because Jay-Z and Nas is a great combination. But we gonna see. We gonna see. They like me like that. Every girl I see wanna be wifey like that. I do like how they use the horn with the drums. I had no idea how the production was gonna sound when it first came on. I was like, all right, this is kind of annoying just hearing the horns, but it was a good solid twist. Every 6 months I think I need a new bucket list. The effects on Jay-Z's verse, it just don't sound as clear as it should be. I'm not sure this is an old verse or this is just the effects that he used on the verse. Yo, freaking DMX just makes you want to fight somebody. Like, just listen to his verse. He makes you want to just, he gives you so much energy to the point where you just want to, you know? I wasn't as impressed with this track. I thought that the beat was gonna progress a little bit more, but it kind of just stayed repetitive. And I wasn't really a big fan of that. One thing I'm starting to notice is DMX is not having the first verses. So far, he switched off, and so far, he had the last verse. I'm definitely curious to see if that continues. I'm a motherfucker. Bitch. Take the ball out, I get the ball out. I told you bad dog in the doghouse. Keep a bad bitch walk. Man, I'm so sad that DMX is gone, because a song like That's My Dog and a song like Dogs Out, it just will leave you so hyped at a festival. Like, could you imagine DMX coming on stage and then he performs one of these songs? It's just gonna bring the energy levels so high. I'm also starting to realize that Swizz Beatz is really a great combination for DMX. Production style, because he brings a lot of hypeness with the beats and it's not doing too much, but at the same time it just works perfectly with his chants. Man, that dude is so aggressive. Like, not a bad track at all. Now I ain't gonna lie, this song right here took me back to early 2000s. The Lil Wayne verse itself just kind of reminded me of old Wayne. Back when he had less tattoos and full of dreads. DMX sound like he about to fight somebody, you know what I'm saying? Like, but I don't mind it. I think it works. Niggas show me how to go get it, that's on my camera. Go eat, when I slide my plate right under the nigga feet. Like the lines in the road, I get down and shit. Wait a minute. When a dog is hungry, I'm gonna eat. I'm gonna slide it under a guy's feet. I don't know about that one. This dude said he about to rape. He gonna rape niggas. I don't know how I feel about that one. I don't know how I feel about Moneybagg Yo's verse. The hook I did not like at all. The sample, it's a hit or miss for me. I feel like the sample is very prominent to the point where I didn't want them to repeat as much. I wish it kind of came out in the song eventually, but it just kept going. So that one is a miss for me. Now, Hold Me Down, I'm curious to see how this song gonna be. Like, it got Alicia keys on it, so I wonder if DMX gonna come with the same aggressive approach that he did, but we gonna see. Gets stronger, my body gets weaker, my faith gets stronger. I feel like the hook could have been more, but I do appreciate the song. I do appreciate it because DMX is spitting like, you know what I'm saying, only God can judge me, I'ma still do me. And I went through my own struggles, but at the same time, you know, whatever. Like, it felt powerful and I felt like this is something that he wanted to get off his chest. Let me grow. It didn't do it for me. I love the way that the sample is flipped here. I feel like they could turn the ad-libs down because I feel like what is being said in the verse is very good, but the ad-libs are just very distracting. But I stop while shooting before the shot clock. Brazil don't connect to the Wi-Fi. DMX's verses alright. Benny and Westside Gunn, they killed that jump, man. I feel like their verses was phenomenal. Okay with the sexual healing sample there. Okay, alright. Snoop Dogg, bro. Snoop Dogg is raw, man. That's why Uncle Snoop is Uncle Snoop. The way he's flowing on this beat is just so perfect. The control is actually pretty good. I like the beat. The beat is very different than the other beats. It's not as hype. It's a little bit more chill. It has a lot more mellow sounds. You hear a lot of bell sounds, piano in there. The drums are cool. You hear the bongos. It's reminiscent with the hook, and the feature itself is just phenomenal. I mean, Snoop Dogg, he killed this beat. He wrote this beat. He demolished this beat. DMX verse is okay, but Snoop Dogg, you did your thing, my guy. Ooh, the production here is phenomenal. You hear the loud bass, you hear the synth in the background, you hear the piano, piano. It sounded pretty smooth so far. From these sunny days, I always come and going. Not yourself, so tell me why I'm walking. The eternal flame at Martin Luther's grave here. I did DMX verse, I did the hook, I did the single on the hook, I did Nas verse, I did the production. Well done. It took a good, you know, 10 tracks to get a really phenomenal song, but I really do love this song. Wow. Wow. Just that song itself, it tells you a lot about just some of the things that was going on in his life. I mean, for example, him having a lot of kids, but also having an older son who kind of followed in his footsteps with the drugs and whatever. But obviously they drifted apart. It makes you, you know, hope that he did call him before his death. I hope so. But nevertheless, I did enjoy the song. I thought that the violin going on throughout the track was just very great. I thought Usher really killed it with the Call Your Father hook. The emotion was created, done very well. I personally like that song, and I do feel for him. I feel for that situation, and I hope they was able to come together. That's all I hope for. I hope they was just able to come together. All right, so overall, considering everything for the album, I thought it was okay. It wasn't really a game changer album, but I do respect it. I respect some of the verses that's on there. I respect some of the stories that was told on there. DMX was able to speak his mind. He was able to speak his truth. He was able to open up, and though a person so aggressive to actually include a song like Letter to My Son, as well as Skyscrapers, or Hold Me Down, it just shows like the level of diversity that he did want to create on this album. I thought Swizz Beatz did his thing. I thought he was a great combination for DMX. Someone who is very hype himself with production, gives the artist a lot of space, just with some of the simplicity on the beat, which is perfect for a guy like DMX who brings a lot of aggression when it comes to some of his deliveries. Really all of his deliveries. There were songs I didn't like, but there was also songs that I liked better than others. One being Walking in My Rain. I thought that song was phenomenal, hands down. And this is definitely the one that I would definitely come back to on this album. Though I did think that some of DMX's verses could be a little bit better. The overall feel of the album, I didn't think it was the best album in the world, but at the same time, I did think it was cool to hear DMX, to hear a full-on project, to get a feel of DMX full-on artistry. And it was cool to hear, cool to experience. Now, if I had to give a rating for this album, I had to give it a 6 out of 10, a solid 6 out of 10. Again, it wasn't my favorite album, nothing too special. There was only about 3 songs I really did like. The rest were okay. But let me know in the comment section how y'all feel. Let me know what y'all would rate this album, and let me know which one of the songs were your favorite. As you do that, like this video, subscribe to the channel to hear more about your favorite artists and my reviews and more content about music. And until then, remember your only limitations are those in your own mind. Stevie TV out.